All right, what's up, social media? Today I wanted to talk about getting in shape and it being just as much mental as it is physical. A lot of people, like, the same approach is not going to work for everybody. Putting down chicken and rice and doing your cardio X amount of times and is not going to work for everybody. So my approach to coaching and to dieting is what works for me and what works for somebody else. It's probably going to be completely different. I start with that same foundation, but then I really got to work with my clients to figure out what's going to work with them for their lifestyle and their needs, because a lot of it's emotional needs too. Like, they're used to eating certain foods, so like a lot of times when I start working with people, I don't strip those foods out. Like, I'll try to give them a better version of that same food, so it works within their nutritional guidelines, but it doesn't strip everything away, and also not going to 100% or not trying to get back to where you once was, like starting where you're at, being open and honest about where you are, and just slowly progressing. Like, we only need to give it 75, 80% and you're going to be successful. You don't need to give it 100%. If you give it 100%, you're going to burn yourself out. So, because when I'm working with people, I do work with competitors and lifestyle and people that just want to get in shape, or they're getting ready for a wedding or an event or something down the road a little bit. And so each one of those approaches are different. You kind of want to pace ourselves to what we're doing. If you're getting ready for a show, that's going to be a faster pace than if you're getting ready for a wedding in a year or something like that. So for me, I understand it's very, very much emotional, mental. So, when I'm working with people, I'm trying to figure out what's going to work for them and what they're used to doing already. And we start there, and even time restraints. Everybody has their own time restraints and their family they got to attend to, or their lifestyle they have to attend to. So I always try to put together something that we could that's achievable first, and that builds habits. Building habits is a key. So instead of eating, you're used to drinking this regular pop, maybe we switch to a diet pop. But also switching up those meals to where, if you're used to burger and fries, maybe you're just making it at home now, and using better breads and not so much, fats and different things like that. But for me, there's a million ways to accomplish that goal, but it's really just working with somebody and working with yourself to understand what you need, what your body needs and what you need mentally, and merging those two and coming up with a good approach and changing that approach as you go, and not being afraid to experiment with things and try new foods and try new things, and being a little bit creative and stepping outside of your comfort zone, and giving something a shot. Just because it sucked doesn't mean it's over, because really the only time that it's over is when you give up. So if you don't give up, if you just keep moving forward with it, you're going to be successful. If you have a bad night, if you go out and party and drink beers and have whatever food you want and gain a few pounds, don't let that be your downfall. Always let that be your motivation to work harder for the next week. Use everything in your life for motivation. Try not to let it let it get you down. Don't let everything one bad setback or an injury or something like that bring you down, or self-talk. Like, a lot of people go through negative self-talk, not even realizing it, that they're putting themselves down, or overanalyzing something, or saying that they can't do it when they can do it. There's a million ways to do it, and if the approach isn't working, just keep trying new things and things that you enjoy and that give you satisfaction mentally and physically, and eventually you'll get there. As long as you just don't give up and just keep pushing through it, and that there's going to be some hard times, there's going to be some easy times, there's going to be some times where you lose weight rapidly, and then there's going to be some times where the weight just sticks, but there's always a solution to the issue that you're going through, whether it's adding a different supplement in. There's a million supplements we can add in. I'm definitely big on adding in supplements as we go. I usually start people out with very minimal supplements, if any at all, so we can save them for when we hit barriers, or once we build a foundation. Because if your diet's not right, supplements, unless your typical health supplements are great to have, but diet pills and all that stuff are those should be saved till, last ditch effort if you're under a crunch or you're trying to get somewhere a little bit quicker, but generally I don't start people out on a lot of supplements unless they're already doing a lot and they just want to, be performing at an optimal level. So that's all dependent on where you are and where you want to go. And I'm kind of open to, or have a background in a lot of different areas. So I have a background in physical therapy, so I'm really good with overcoming people's injuries or setbacks and modifying programs to meet their physical needs. So I understand that. I've done a lot of aquatic therapy and therapy for people that can barely function. So I understand that to the highest level, or working with higher level athletes also. So there's a million ways to do this, but what's going to work for you is different than what's going to work for me. So I don't ever put my program on somebody else. I've been through all the different programming, the different programs and the different diets and fasting and not fasting and all those debates. And I like fasting at certain times. I don't think it's for everybody all the time, but I like it as a tool, and I use all of these different approaches, whatever they are. If it's a standard diet, if you want to be militant about it, we can do that. All these approaches can work for individuals, but they don't work for every person. So my approach is to really just talk with people, and the more feedback I get, the more valuable I am as a coach. So if I don't get any feedback from a client, then I'm not very valuable as a coach. Because to me, coaching is a lot more than just writing out a diet and saying, here you go, give me your weight in a week or something like that. To me, it's, getting some feedback and really diving into these issues, whether they're mental, physical, or they're just food issues, timing issues, whatever those issues are. To me, it's about solving those problems and teaching people how to eat right and mentally get right, not overexert yourself, not put too much pressure on yourself if you do screw up, and just, learning, for me, it's coaching people to be successful in life and in their diet and all the other ventures where they can translate that over to whatever else they're doing. So it's not so much just a diet coach, so I do add quite a bit in there, and and ongoing communications to me are key with people. So that's what I do, and that's kind of my approach to things. So until next time.